Test, test, test. Good Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We're going to sing a nigun, and as we're doing so, let's greet each other and wish each other good Shabbos. Please be seated. So I was recently in Colorado on vacation, and one of the things that we do when we go to Colorado, we oftentimes go up to the camp that I spent many, many summers at, 22 summers. And when I was up there and I sat in the chapel for a few moments, I remembered one of my first real prayer experiences. This week's Torah portion, as Rabbi Bear is going to talk about in a little bit, has a lot to do with prayer. But the very first time that I prayed was right after my grandfather had died. In fact, it was the day my grandfather had died. It happened to have been a Friday night, and we went to temple, and I remember praying, God, if you got this power, let's undo this. And of course, it didn't happen that way. And I was really quite disappointed and really pushed away from prayer for a number of years until I was at camp a couple years later, and Doug Frosch, a counselor, this is 1969, so things were kind of different back then at camp in 1969, but each of the counselors got a moment to offer a Devar Torah as part of the service that we had. And Doug Frosch walked up there, and he said, "Dear God, right on, amen." And that was it. And that, for me, that opened up a new world of prayer. Because I thought that prayer, up until that time, was, God, give me, get me, show me, do something for me, as opposed to taking a moment and recognizing that really the world is okay and finding my place in it. So let this Shabbat be a place where we can find our place once again in the world, letting our souls catch back up to us.
Ya la la, la 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 la. La
I'd like to invite up now Ron Mayer and Miriam Steinberg to lead us in the candle blessing and the Kiddush. We're going to begin on page 2.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness remind us of the generation of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
We'll continue on page 4.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Oops, sorry. And there was evening and there was morning, the 6th day. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the 7th day, God finished the work that God had been doing. And God ceased on the 7th day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the 7th day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon Hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta v'yotanu B'kol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
I am. And as they're having some l'chaim, I'm going to ask everyone else to turn to page 16 as we continue with Kabbalat Shabbat.
Actually, it's going to start at the bottom of 15, and then we jump to 16. Hariu Ladonai.
continue with welcoming Shabbat, Lechado D, page 20, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9.
Lechadodi, likrat kala, pidnei Shabbat, nekavela. Lechadodi, likrat kala, pidnei Shabbat, nekavela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad, ki hishmianu el hamyuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad, l'shem u'tiferet v'litchila. Lechadodi, likrat kala, pidnei Shabbat, nekavela. Lechadodi, likrat kala, pidnei Shabbat, nekavela. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habracha, berosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh v'machshavat tchila. Lechadodi, likrat kala, pidnei Shabbat, nekavela. Lechadodi, likrat kala, pidnei Shabbat, nekavela. Hitoreri, kiva oreb, kumi ori, uri, shir daveri, kevod Adonai, alayich nigla. Lechadodi, likrat kala, pidnei Shabbat, nekavela. Lechadodi, likrat kala, pidnei Shabbat, nekavela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לחדודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לחדודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת
We remain standing and turn to page 28, facing toward the east for the Baruch Hu.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruchu et Adonai, ha Bah Ya la la, la 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 la. La 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 la.
Bid varo ma'arit varavim, v'chokma poteach sharim, v'vitfuna mishnei itim, v'machalif et hazmanim, v'misader et hakochavim, v'mismerotehem barakia kirtzono, v'rei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, v'ma'avir yom u'mevi layla, v'ma'avdil bein yom u'bein layla, Adonai tzvot shemo, El chai v'kayam, Tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Amaraviv Araviv.
Page 32. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel together by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai Ohev v'amor Yisrael.
We turn now to pages 34 and 35 as we meditate on words of Shema. This prayer, which comes from this week's Torah portion, asks us to recognize the unity of the universe, not just all space, but all time as well, the past, the present, the future, from the smallest subatomic particle to beyond the stars to infinity and beyond, to recognize that it's all connected as one. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Please be seated. And just a word of note about our prayer service. We're going to be chanting Ve'ahavta on page 36 in just a moment. And tonight, for those of you who wanted to make sure you were in time for the Devar Torah, for the sermon, Rabbi Bear is going to deliver it right after we do this prayer. So just wanted to give you a little advance warning, since usually we have the sermon at the end of services. That'll give me time to give another sermon. No. We continue with Ve'ahavta, page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'arim ha'elem asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Veshinantam levanecha, v'dibarta b'ham, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha v'aderech, u'v'shokpecha u'v'kumecha, u'kshartam le'od al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha, u'visharecha, leman tiskeru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'yitem kedoshim lelohechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher Hotzeiti Etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim, Liot Lachem Lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem Emet.
Shabbat Shalom. This Shabbat we read the second portion of the book of Devarim called Ve'et Chanan. Ve'et Chanan is usually translated as to beseech, plead, or implore. Fittingly, this portion is about Moses pleading to enter the Promised Land, a request which he has made before and to which God has already answered with a no. And here God says no again for the last time. In Hebrew, Ve'et Chanan is actually one of 10 words that means to pray. Its root is chen, meaning grace or kindness. So Ve'et Chanan literally means inspiring grace or kindness. The Midrash teaches that this is the only verb that the Torah uses to describe Moses' prayers to God. It's a strong verb, ringing with importance and urgency. Hitchanen, the reflexive form of this verb, is used when one seeks an undeserved favor. Rashi explains that truly righteous and humble people never feel they have a claim on God's mercy. And so when the Torah tells us that Moses prays to God with Ve'et Chanan, this is a sign of Moses' humility. Nevertheless, God tells Moses no. For the final time, he will not enter the land. Moses goes on in this week's Parsha to teach us the Shema and review the 10 Commandments and to warn the people against idolatry. What's so beautiful to me is that even after being told no repeatedly, despite appealing to God's compassion, Moses says this to the people about God. You will find God if you search for God with all your heart and soul. When you are in distress and all these things have befallen you, at the end of days you will return to Adonai your God to hearken to God's voice. For Adonai your God is a merciful God. God will not abandon you, nor destroy, and God will not forget the covenant of your ancestors that God swore to them. There is none beside God. This is the sign of a righteous and humble leader indeed, able to see through and then teach about God's endless compassion. Perhaps Moses understood that not getting what we want, effectively being told no in our prayers, does not mean that God has abandoned us. Perhaps, according to Moses, God's compassion is deepest when we feel most alone. This is an important week to think about compassion in the face of loneliness. It is Shabbat Nachamu, the Shabbat of comfort following the mourning and loss that we felt on Tisha B'Av, when we marked the destruction of the temple and a host of other tragedies that have befallen the Jewish people. And today was the 15th of Av, Tu B'Av, the day of love in our tradition. So how is it that we appeal to God's compassion and kindness? How do we hitchanen? The Midrash on this week's Parsha asks this question by way of looking at the halakha, or the laws of prayer. Note here that it also mentions Samuel's mother, Hannah, whose story we read in the Haftarah of Rosh Hashanah, and whose very name means grace or kindness. The Midrash asks, is it permissible for a Jew standing at prayer to pray loudly during the Amidah, the standing prayer? The sages have taught thus: when one is standing at prayer, you might think that he or she may raise his or her voice. But Hannah has already long ago explicitly shown otherwise. For it says, now Hannah, she spoke in her heart. Abba Saul said, a good omen for prayer is this: if one directs her heart to her prayer, she may be confident that her prayer will be answered. This is where Jewish tradition teaches us to pray as Hannah did, quietly, in a voice loud enough that you can hear yourself, but not loud enough for the person next to you to make out what you are saying. We're supposed to pray as Hannah did when she was barren and prayed for a child. Let me tell you a story. When I was a young child, I was a singer and a bit of a performer. When asked by my family synagogue to lead the congregation in the Shema, I stood up, put my arms in the air, and proclaim the Shema in a full and loud voice. Some people loved it. But upon reflecting on it with a Jewish tutor who later prepared me for my bar mitzvah, I realized that my Shema was a performance rather than a prayer. I've often reflected on that moment, and the lesson has stuck with me as I teach people how to pray authentically from the heart through the liturgy of the Siddur. There are times in the service when a louder Shema is called for, such as when we take the Torah out of the Aron HaKodesh and before the Hakafah, when we proclaim the Shema in full voice before the parade of the Torah through the Kahal, the community. Yet in the context of a prayer service, and especially the prayer of the Amidah, which means standing prayer and is often called the silent prayer, prayer should be an insistent and quiet appeal to God's mercy. When we infuse the words of the prayer book, the Siddur, with our private thoughts and intentions to make them a service of the heart, this is the highest goal. This is the process by which our communal codified prayers become our own. And we do that best in a whisper. When whispers, we're taught that words are formed but only God can hear, so they retain a purity of intention. So tonight, as we continue with the Amidah, we're going to pray a little differently than usual. Let's pray in the model of Hannah, who prayed for a child at the temple in Shiloh, and with the humility that Moses used when he turned to God's compassion in Ve'et Hanan. So I invite you to pray the words in Hebrew or English on the right side of the page after, of course, the Michamocha from 46 through 62. You can go quickly, but try to say them all. And then take more time on the top of 62. Instead of reading the words on that page, whisper your own appeal to God's kindness, the spontaneous prayer of your heart. And then please be seated when you're through. On this Shabbat Nachamu, Shabbat of comfort, I pray that each of you feel that God is compassionate, that God is a compassionate God whose chen, kindness, knows no end. Shabbat Shalom.
We'll continue with the singing of Michamocha, that great act of kindness when we didn't have to drown in the sea, but we were able to go toward freedom. Page 40, Michamocha.
Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Ya la la la, ya la 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 la. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה. Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. Who is like you? Adonai. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la.
As Rabbi Bear mentioned, today was, still is Tu B'Av, which is this Jewish day of love. It is in some ways the antidote to the hatred that destroyed the temple. And so to celebrate a little bit of that love, page 43, let there be love and understanding. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Once more. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom. V'ha'aminenu, Shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu, Sukkot shlomecha. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Hashkivenu, Leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
We continue now with Hatfilah, the central part of the prayer service. As Rabbi Bear said, it's often referred to as the silent meditation. We're going to do page 46 and then the even number pages together. And then after we finish the Givurot prayer, we encourage you to continue your own prayers. You're welcome to remain standing or be seated. And then we'll continue with our own silent meditation on page 62. And then following that, if you can keep track of all this, we're going to pray together Nachamu Ami, which is from this week's Haftarah, and it's found on the inside of the Shabbat Vayinafash program. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
Yananai lai 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 Adonai. Yala lai 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 svatai tiftach. Yala lai 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 ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Yala lai 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 Adonai. Yala lai 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 svatai tiftach. Yala lai 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 ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Yala lai 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 Adonai. Yala lai 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 svatai tiftach. Yala lai 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 ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Hey Avoteinu V'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Velohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanorah El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chazdei Avot V'Imahot Umevi Geula Livnei V'Neihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava Melech Hoser u'Moshia u'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah Rav leHoshia. Morid hatal, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim. Sohomech noflim verofeh cholim. Umatir asurim, umekayem mehemunato, lishenei afar, michamocha baal gevurot, umidom elach, melech meimid, umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'nemanat halachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Bechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh u'shimcha kadosh, u'gedoshim b'chol yom yahallulucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. As our rabbis mentioned, for 7 weeks following Tisha B'Av, which was commemorated last week, we begin the 7 haftarot of consolation, whereby God initiates reconciliation, makes the call through the words of these prophetic readings, which we chant in our synagogues throughout the world. And the rabbis chose these words of Isaiah, who in his own time comforted our people by assuring them that God wanted them to return back to the promised land, that their time of exile in Babylonia would soon be over. Nachamu Ami, may these prayers offer comfort and strength to all of us. In your program is Nachamu. Nachamu, Nachamu Ami. Yomar Elohechem, Nachamu, Nachamu Ami, Yomar Elohechem. Once more. Nachamu, Nachamu Ami, Yomar Elohechem. Yomar Elohechem, Dabru alev Yerushalayim, v'kiru eleha. Dabru alev Yerushalayim, v'kiru aleha.
pray now a Misha Barak prayer, a prayer of healing for friends and family, for those who are perhaps at home or in the hospital recovering from illness or surgery, or perhaps those who are at home or here who are recovering just from the sadness that exists in the world and in life. And so if you have the name of someone you would like added to our prayers to pray for renewal of body and renewal of soul, I ask you to please mention those names out loud. If you'd like to rise, and we'll mention those names so that everyone can pray on behalf of the people for whom you're praying. You've been asked to mention these names as well: Gail Ossip, George Lublin, Donald Krasner, Jason Albert, Lenny Hecht, Bill Meadow, Shifra Fega, Bat Rachel, David Siegel, Judith Ryder Cornelison, Elisa Benray, Muriel Dubrow, Marta Leva, Marilyn Sheffman, Bernard Finn, Randy Aronson, Shirley Aronson, Sylvia Levitsky, Roberta Ty, Vicki Engelman, Sherry Werbin, Richie Harris, Betty Myers, Doris Oleski, Elisheva Zohar Bat Penina, Amos Naman, Arlene Lessel, Maria Bernard, Dr. Stephen Rosenberg, Gabrielle Dessonnier, Jared Stein, Avraham Ben Chaya Gedalia, Chana Sarah Bat David, Chava Leah Bat Hadassah, Tzvi Yacobi, Nina Bernstein, Ella Rubel, Joanna Lees, Bill Jean Smith, Seth Joseph, Gladys Lawrence, and Esther Bat Zissel. And we continue to pray on behalf of the American and Israeli soldiers who are currently missing in action, being held captive, or in need of physical and emotional healing. We pray Misha Barak is found on page 253.
Misha Barak Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishe Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
In a moment, not yet, but in a moment, we're going to all rise for the Aleinu. The Aleinu is this prayer that we face toward the east. Actually, it's the word Jerusalem that we're supposed to face toward, the city Jerusalem, and the word Jerusalem. In Hebrew, that word means the city of shalom, the city of wholeness. And so when we rise for the Aleinu, we're facing towards this idea of wholeness. We just came out of a moment of Misha Berach, of healing, and now we want to take a moment to think about wholeness. So by the end of this, you're all going to be standing, so you're just going to have to pick a category as I go through this. If you're celebrating something exciting in your life that happens once a year, let's say an anniversary or a birthday, I'll ask you to please rise. If you are, let's see, having a big life cycle moment, or you just went through a big life cycle moment of joy, a baby naming, perhaps a wedding, I'll go ask you to rise. If you just came back from a nice trip, I'll ask you to rise. If you are in love, I'll ask you to rise. If you'd like to be in love, I'll ask you to rise. Come on. If you're here for the Elenu, I'll ask you to rise. And if you're a child with a parent or just by yourself and you want to come up here to the Bema and help with the Ark, if you want to come on up here, you're welcome to come on up here. We're going to turn to page 282 for the
verse.
what?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol la'tet gidula li'yotzer bereshit shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama shelo sam chelkeinu kahem v'goroleinu kechol hamonam ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. We take a moment now to remember all those who came before us, those who may have died in years past, at this season or may have died in recent days. As a congregation, we remember the more than 6 million men, women, and children that were murdered in the Shoah. Remember all those who died making sure that our homeland Israel exists for us and for Jews everywhere. Remember all those who perished in the name of liberty, freedom, justice, and righteousness. And we remember all the innocent victims of hatred, ignorance, and terrorism. On this Shabbat, we remember friends and family whose yortzites are being observed and whose names have lovingly been inscribed in our alcove, on plaques in our alcove of remembrance. We remember Leo M. Abrahams, Abraham B. Anson, Philip Bernanke, Isaac Camber, Rebecca Cooperman, Mark Dome, Meyer Don, Michael S. Epstein, Nettie Feldman, Benjamin Gill, Nettie Goldstein, Lena Greenberg, Anna Kaplan, Joellen Levinson, Elizabeth Nussbaum, David Provis, Edward Resnick, William Rubin, Morris Rubin, Simon Samuels, Julia L. Schechter, Henry Sizarek, Meyer Silberstein, Alex R. Simberg, Maxine Hope Kronish Snyder, Joseph Spitzer, Leon Srago, Marie Steinfeld, Bernice Kaplan Strauss, Morris Thurman, Herman Weinberg, Matilda R. Weinstein. And we remember as well friends and families whose yortzites are being observed at this time. Amelia Acosta, Paul Blau, Alexander Blumenfeld, Sarah Boris, Catherine Bowers, Jonathan Breslov, Josh Bressler, Rosalind Bressler, Julia Breeze, Molly Brothers, Sigmund Drucker, Enrique Iber, Celia Elkin, Eli Galitz, Nathan I. Ginsberg, Joe Goldberg, May Golden, Ben Hart, Jerry Sue Strauss Jacobs, Louis Lazarus Julian, Helen Kay, Isaac Klein, Howard Nofsky, Elena Kochin, Helene Koretsky, Bernard A. Kornblum, Ben Marks, Albert Matter, Murray Merkel, Betty Ann Minnick, Isaac Morris, Dean Everett Nicholson, Hillel Pachter, Grace G. Polliner, Pauline Raskin, Reba Robinson, Florane Rosenberg, Emmett Rosenblum, Arthur S. Rosashan, Philip Rovelli, Stephen Rubel, Ruth Russo, Mildred Schreiber, Simon Schlane, Sarah Shrinsky, Val Silberman, Lily Silverglate, Leon J. Simpkins, Ann Sir, Daniel Spiegel, Nathan Spiegelman, Rose Starr, Frida Weinstein, Julia Yudkoff. And remember as well friends and family who've died in recent days, and their families remain in the Shloshim of mourning in the 30-day period of mourning. Remember Yadwiga Leonard, Stuart Lessel, Donald Ira Kaufman, Sylvia Cohen, and Annalie Pollock. If there's a name that I haven't mentioned and you're in a period of mourning, you're saying Kaddish, you have a yortzeit, I'll ask you to please rise and mention those names out loud, and please remain standing as we're going to join together for Kaddish in just a moment. Zecher Tzadik Livracha, may the memory of all the righteous, please go ahead. Thank you. May the memory of the righteous be found in those new voices that we hear as well as we rise and with one voice recite words of Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei rabbah v'yalma divrach hurtei v'yamlech malchutei b'chaye echon v'yom echon uv'chaye b'chol beit Yisrael b'gala v'zman kariv v'yimru Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mivarach Le'olam Olamei Amaya Yitbarak V'yishtabak V'yitpa'ar V'yitroman V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shmei D'Kudusha B'rechu Le'elam Min Kol Birchata V'shirata Tushbachata V'nechamata Damiran V'yama V'yimru Yehi Shlama Rabbah Min Shemaya V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'asei shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the source of peace grant peace to all of you mourn, comfort all who are bereaved, and send healing to all who are saddened, as together we say, amen. Please be seated. Now I'd like to invite up Dennis Russ, a member of our board, a member of our congregation for a few years now, to share greetings on behalf of the congregation.
Thank you, Rabbi Davis, and thank you, Rabbi Davis and Rabbi Baer and Cantor Siegel, for a beautiful Shabbat service. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I wish everyone here Shabbat Shalom. You know, Rabbi Baer, this is also the Shabbat before the first day of August. I would promise you that in South Florida we know that every day in August is going to be hot, every day is going to be humid, and it's going to rain every day. So you have that to look forward to. But there comes an end, and as we take a look at the activities that are being teed up at our congregation, I would note that on August 24th, we come together for the barbecue Shabbat dinner, and you can make arrangements for joining us at that and participating in that by being in touch with Mark Baranek. And on August 30th, the Brotherhood will be meeting to kick off the new season. Of course, August 30th is not the end of August, because we all know that August is not a short month. Sometimes August extends into mid-October. But I would point out to you that on Wednesday, October 10th, in a optimistic look, the sisterhood is meeting to kick off their season, and perhaps that will be the end of August. Shabbat Shalom. I wish you a good August.
And for all those rabbis that are writing sermons during August, we would like it to be longer. We're going to conclude our service with this beautiful prayer, In Kelohenu. It's found in your prayer book on page 322. Let's all rise, and then afterwards, let's all greet each other with some sweetness at the oneg. In Kelohenu.
Ein Kelohenu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemokenu, Ein Kamoshienu, Bichelohenu, Bichadonenu, Bichemokenu, Bichamoshienu, No Del Elohenu, No Del Adonenu, No Del Emokenu, No Del Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshiach, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshiach.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good Shabbos.
Ay